Well, it seems to me that with 12 days to go until the election, maybe it's 11, maybe it's 13, but somewhere in there, things have gotten pretty nuts. We have seen all kinds of division still, of course, and that's nothing new for our communities. But we have seen a whole lot of betrayal. We've seen a whole lot of betrayal in our own communities, it seems. We've seen a whole lot of betrayal by our government, in my opinion, when it comes to things like the storms, the hurricanes, a lot of betrayal and just left out in the cold when it comes to our immigration issue or conundrum, if you'll call it that. And I got to be honest, I can't wait. I can't wait for November 6th or 7th, right? I can't wait for all of this campaigning. I can't wait for all these dumbass ads. I can't wait for all of these sometimes seemingly meaningless conversations about what we feel and what we believe is really best for us as citizens here of the United States of America. But it becomes a whole lot more than just being sick of the climate, right? Election climate, if you will. And as we've seen probably 4 years ago, I shouldn't say probably, I think that it was pretty clear that many people ended relationships, they ended jobs, they ended friendships. Families were not speaking to each other because of things like division when it comes to the presidential nominee on whatever side of the aisle or both of them. And I'm really excited for all of that to be over. And some say that, don't be too excited because no matter who wins or who loses this election, there's going to be some kind of chaos, or there's going to be some kind of hiccup. There's going to be somebody who is not going to like the results, and it's going to be an issue. And I don't think that we can just point fingers at Donald Trump on this one. I don't know that we could just point fingers at him last time either, but that's just my opinion. I don't know that if President Trump wins, people on the other side are going to freak out. And if Kamala Harris wins, people on the other side are going to freak out. Now, the question becomes, how do we, as members of a community, how do we hope to get past this? How do we hope to grow? How do we hope to at least have a resemblance of what it is we had before the 2024 election, or even before the 2020 election? And I think a lot of people would say the one common denominator there is Donald Trump. And I don't know if I buy that either. I think that there's a lot of things happening around this country that he is not involved in that are still pretty fucked up. And so for a lot of people, I believe that that's the easy way out. And for a lot of people on the Republican side, I believe that's an easy way out too. Well, Joe Biden's just been sleeping the whole time. Well, maybe. But the question is, what are we going to do about it? We can choose to do nothing. We can choose to sit idle and just go about our daily lives and pretend like it doesn't affect me. Or a lot of people will say, my vote doesn't count. And who am I to tell you that you're wrong? Who am I to tell you how to live your life and what to believe and how to go about pursuing whatever it is that you choose to pursue? But I don't know that I can jive with the idea that I just don't count. I don't mean anything. I think that is the mentality of somebody who just doesn't have the capacity to think deeper and come up with a solution and have those conversations outside of yourself. But anyway, that's not the topic that we chose to talk about. I was just trying to simply state that the end of election season is always a relief, and I think it's a relief for a lot of people because you hear the ads, you hear the radio shows, you see it all over the internet, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere you look. There's something about Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And I'm cool with that being over. But why I bring all this up is because I believe that we as citizens have taken this issue too far, and we've allowed it to get too far into our psyche, maybe is the right word, but we've allowed it to get to a point in discussions or in relationships or in the workplace or at the bar or in sporting, whatever it is. We've allowed it to get too far, and we have transformed into a population of people that openly will prosecute our neighbors for their opinion. Now, I understand that it all becomes a whole lot more convoluted. There's a whole lot more to it. And a lot of people will say things like, well, I just can't associate with anybody that believes in A, B, C, or D. And if that's your stance, then that's your stance. Who am I or anybody else to tell you that you're wrong or that you should change your opinion? But when you see things like this story we're going to hear about today, it's maddening. And some of you may have heard about it. I believe it was on Monday of this week. This female, this woman, Catherine Banks, got on a plane in San Francisco to go see her sister. The shirt she was wearing was threatening, according to a flight attendant on the plane. They then approached her. They made her get off the plane and told her the only way you're getting back on this plane is if you change your shirt. Now, what was on the shirt, you ask? Well, in my opinion, it's nothing threatening. In my opinion, it's a very strong message, and it's a message that probably needs to be heard a lot of places, in a lot of corners of this country. So, but I'll let her tell you. This was taken from a news broadcast that did a story on this. So check this out, and then we'll come back and talk about it. It's not long, a couple minutes maybe. Here we go.
A male flight attendant was saying, ma'am, and I was looking around like, who's he talking to? And it was me. And he said, you need to get off the plane. And I was like, what did I do?
Catherine says it wasn't until she got off the plane and onto the jet bridge that he told her why.
He said, that shirt you're wearing is threatening. I said, are you kidding me? I'm a Marine Corps vet. I'm going to go see my Marine sister who's survived 22 years in the Marine Corps, right? And 15 years working for the Air Force. And I'm going to visit her. And he said, I don't care about your service, and I don't care about her service. That shirt you're wearing, the only way you're going to get back on the plane if you take it off.
This is the shirt right here. Do not give in to the war within and veteran suicide. It's a pretty positive message, I believe. Let's keep watching.
Off right now.
But she wasn't wearing a bra.
I turned around, and so he couldn't see the front of me, and took the shirt off and put the sweatshirt on. It was giving me anxiety. I'm sorry.
She should be upset.
She tells us she was allowed back on the plane, but not allowed to sit in the extra legroom seat she paid extra for. Instead, she was told to sit in the back of the plane. The flight was delayed, and she missed her connecting flight. On its website, Delta's contract of carriage says it may remove passengers from the aircraft, quote, when the passenger's conduct, attire, hygiene, or odor creates an unreasonable risk of offense or annoyance to other passengers.
And escorted me off the plane.
This isn't the first time somebody has been pulled off a Delta flight because of how they were dressed. In March of this year,
So anyway, the rest of that story doesn't really apply to Catherine Banks. It was just another woman who got kicked off a plane because she was wearing a white T-shirt with no bra, and they thought it was offensive. But this is where we've come. This is where we've come to in the all over the country. Somebody has decided that cheering to end veteran suicide, building awareness to end veteran suicide, getting the word out to end veteran suicide is threatening. And one might ask, well, what is threatening about it? Why does anybody care? Why it's on her shirt and why she's wearing said shirt on a plane? Who is threatened by this message? And the answer to that is, who knows? Delta had said, to finish out the story, Delta said that they have made things right with Catherine Banks, and they thank her for her service. And so we haven't heard yet from Catherine Banks. Nobody has. So who knows? Who knows if they made it right? Is making it right meaning they fired the guy, and now everybody's cool? I would ask, what is the culture? What is the culture there at Delta? Specifically, what is the culture there about flight attendants and crews who are based in the San Francisco area? Do they not like veterans? I mean, I know it's probably far-fetched and it's probably a silly comment to make, but at the end of the day, why would anybody? First of all, there was no profanity. There was no like lewd or lewd pictures, lewd comments, no nudity, no drugs, no nothing on there. Just some writing in white and red on a black shirt. But this is where we're at. We are so polarized that we now feel like we have I'm going to say we have the right to tell somebody what to wear. We have the right to tell somebody that their shirt is offensive, and then we feel like we have the right to remove them from a place that they've paid to be for transit to a place that they've paid to go to. There isn't one person that I know anyway that would look at that story and go, yeah, that flight attendant was right. That woman was way out of line. But we're here. This is where we're at. And at this juncture, I think that it would be very, very wise for all of us to take a step back and just kind of take a look around us. I think that there are people that we could probably just decide, you know what? We're not going to talk about it anymore. You and I can't have a conversation about it. I have people like that in my life. Or you're going to talk it out. You make your point, I'll make my point, and we'll agree to disagree. And then we'll move on to have another conversation at another time. Or we're going to separate. Because if we're in the same room, somebody's going to get slapped in the mouth, or there's going to be more words said, or there's going to be, who knows what's going to happen. And I have to say that I'm in the same boat. If you go to the 3 Clicks Media Facebook page and go back a few weeks, we posted a short. It was a video of me, and the title of it was Just My 2 Cents. The video was talking about the differences between the two candidates and what might become of it. And, there was nothing like, I'll tell you what, Facebook didn't block it. Instagram didn't block it. So it couldn't have been controversial because everything you put up there that even mentions one word that they don't like and they shut you down. I tried to put a video up I did about Tim Walz. They never even seen the light of day. They didn't even let it out. So that just goes to tell you that whatever it was that I said could have been controversial. And through the process, my own uncle, the brother of my father, had the balls to tell me that I don't like, that I hate people of color. Now, this is a man that will claim to be a Christian. This is a man that will tell somebody, well, yeah, my nephew Richard, I love him a lot. And he thinks, well, my nephew, he just drank some silly guy Kool-Aid, right? And he's touched. Like I'm some kind of idiot and I don't have my own opinion. And I don't have the ability to think for myself. But it's comments like that come from your own family. This man had a hand for a little while in helping raise me. We spent a lot of time together when I was a kid. His son and I were close in age. We spent a lot of time together. My cousin, his daughter, also my cousin, we spent time together when we were children. And the guy can't even, he can't even put aside his ignorance, his astounding ignorance, for 2 seconds to even ask a question or anything. Just blatantly puts it out there. There's a lot of other things that probably we could talk about, but I probably, I'm not one to put all of my family business out on the street. But this is the guy that's known me since I was a baby, since I came to this world. It's unbelievable. And so there's what I'm talking about. Relationships like that will probably never be reconciled. I got nothing to say to him. Keep in mind, folks, that this uncle is on the side of my family that's African American and Native American. But yet I have a strong dislike or disdain or whatever he said for people of color. When also the video that I posted said nothing about race, color, or gender at all. Not even smart enough to recognize that before he starts putting dumbass comments out to the world. But hey, everyone's got one or two in their family, right? I'm sure he's not the only one. We got more. And if you ask him, it'd probably be me, but whatever. So I tell you all of this just to say things don't have to be this way. Things don't have to go this way. When did we in this country lose the ability to just have a conversation with one another? When did we lose the ability to agree to disagree? When did we lose the ability to just keep our fucking mouths shut? It didn't seem like it was that long ago that we were able to have conversations, shake your head and just chalk it up as we both win or we both lose. Shake a hand. You need a beer? Because if not, if you need one, I'll go grab one. I'm getting a beer. You want a beer? Okay. Buy the guy a beer, cheers it, and walk off and continue on with your day. Not anymore. Now we gotta kick each other in the groin and shove each other's face in the mud. But if that's the way it's got to be, then that's the way it's got to be. But I do know one thing for sure. The people in my life who are important to me, who really actually care about me, who really actually want to have a positive relationship, they do that. I have another person in my family. We don't see eye to eye probably at all on 98% of the things. But we can still go play golf together. We could share a meal. We can spend holidays together. At least we're smart enough to be able to understand that we're not going to agree, but we're family. And I thought that family was above all else. Apparently for my uncle, that's not true. And that's cool. Whatever. So the other thing I wanted to point out is about this shirt. The shirt that Catherine was wearing. What's her name? Catherine Baker. Let me find it here quick. It was this one. Here it is. It is made and sold by, you can see it on the bottom here, the Till Valhalla Project. Now this place does amazing work. This place advocates for veterans. This place helps veterans to find mental health care. This place has renovated homes for veterans who need a place to stay. They're the real deal. And if I remember right, this place is owned and operated by veterans. Veterans of this United States of America's military. Can you find anything threatening or offensive about this? Also, would you think that 10 years ago, this would be threatening? You see, we know that in America, we have an issue. We have an issue with this. Veterans are killing themselves daily. Recently, there was talk about the numbers down to 18. But for many, many years, we were told 22 a day. And at one point, we were told, well, now it's more like 19 a day. And then not long after that, it was 27 a day. And then it went back to 22 a day. But the point is this. 2 of them a day is too much. 1 a day is too much. And we understand as veterans, and also, more importantly, veterans who are doing advocacy work like Till Valhalla is doing. We understand that getting to absolute zero veteran suicides is probably a very tall order, but we'll fight that fight. And we will work to get there until we're done working, until there's no air left in our lungs and there's no blood left pumping through our hearts, because that is the real tragedy. One of them, one of many in this country that we live in, that is the real tragedy. So, if you haven't, check out Till Valhalla Project. Get a shirt, get a hat, make a donation if you don't want a shirt or a hat. If you can afford it, donate to these guys. They do amazing work. They're making a difference in the lives of veterans. That's what we're all here to do. And that shirt probably is a great reminder to somebody who just may need that reminder. So, why would we take that away? And is this probably just an instance of one person who's ignorant and stupid and can't see past the nose on their face, much like my uncle? Probably. Maybe it's that. But we don't know until we have these conversations. We don't know until we talk about these things and we go out and we just put it out there. And it's probably a tough conversation for people. I would imagine that folks are uncomfortable talking about suicide in general, and I get it. But this is important. Suicide destroys many lives, including the one that's taken. And so even though it's ugly, even though it's hard, even though it's extremely sad, we still got to have the conversation, and we still got to keep fighting, and we still have to address it. We have to. And so I hope that you will. That's all the time we have for today. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you like what we're doing here, please drop us a like and a follow and a subscribe, whatever you're comfortable with. We got big things on the horizon. We're starting a new project here in the few short coming weeks. We got a new project starting. We hope to launch soon, and so all of the help and all of the support is greatly appreciated, and we need it. So again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming. And the other thing I wanted to say is it's been a while since we posted. We had to move studios, which is kind of why this all looks a lot different now. But it's a work in progress, so please just stick with us. But we're going to get back on a regular schedule of putting out content. So we appreciate your patience. If and when you ever were waiting, maybe you weren't, but we are now in the new studio. It's getting put together a little bit at a time as we have time to be down here doing it. So we will see you guys soon, right on down the road. And don't forget, we have an amazing new project coming. We're very excited. So stick with us. We got things coming for you.